Welcome to episode 8 of YOUx2, where we're on an adventure of discovering the two of us that are living this human experience. This human side of us, this character that we're playing, and the actor behind this character, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. And in this human life, it sometimes is difficult to understand who we can trust and what we can trust. And I talk a lot about small t truths of the human side and the capital T truths of the upper realms of, the spirit of the creator. And I have friends and other individuals that ask me, well, how can you know the difference between the two, And the answer comes quickly to me on those, because if it is of unconditional love, then that is of God, the creator of spirit. And if it is of fear and of conditional love and trying to gain control over things, then that is the human side. And that applies even to religious texts that are, we're always told all the religious texts, no matter what religious belief you have, that ours is of God. And it's like, some of it, yeah, but when we decipher it and we look at those things, then we can see the difference between, is it conditional or unconditional? Unconditional, that is the peace that is from the Creator. But sometimes the human ego sneaks in and has that control piece that seeps and alters things a little bit. And that's the same thing even with society's rules and preferences. And it can take time to learn to decipher the difference between the two, especially when we're in fight or flight so much as a human, with a boatload of fears triggering us all the time. I mentioned in previous episodes how we can intentionally focus on the spirit world of unconditional love while in this physical world and expand our remembrance of who we really are. Doing those things on a regular basis changes our habit from being distracted into the fear-filled chaotic storm, and instead we hang out more often in the peaceful eye of the storm, centered in unconditional love instead. Last episode, we talked about how we are never alone and how we are continually surrounded by beings, spiritual beings of unconditional love and light. How can we connect more with them? How can we hear from them? That is what they wanted to talk about next. The beautiful thing about connecting to those on the other side and hearing from them is that we don't have to do any kind of rituals or sacrifices or anything in the physical realm if we don't want to. But sometimes doing things in the physical realm helps this human side of us open up more, get still, and get silent. Your power exists in your intention and in your ability to believe. And so if burning a candle, saying a prayer, saying a mantra, burning some incense, doing something in the physical realm helps you focus your intentions, then do that. I've heard that meditation is supposed to be where you have no thinking and your mind, becomes clear and blank. And I don't know about you, but I've never been able to have a blank mind. And I kind of have this belief that as long as I'm here in this physical world, that I'm not going to be able to have my thinker not think inside of me. It's like sight. I cannot not see. I'm always seeing everything around me while I'm physically awake, right? Even when I close my eyes, I see darkness or I see lights, different colors and stuff, so I can never not see things. But I can focus my eyesight onto something with my will if I don't want to be distracted by other things happening around me. It would be like if you're watching your child at a park playing. You can force your eyes to look at your child in the park and not be distracted by other things because you value watching your child for many reasons. And that's what I do to connect to the other side. I intentionally focus my mind and my heart on those beings of unconditional love and light. I send love from my heart. I focus my mind, and in the mind's eye, I picture myself sending my love to them and receiving their love back. I'll even put on music, songs that I know will trigger or spark those feelings of love from within me. I intentionally choose to feel emotions of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, for this is the frequency at which the spirit world speaks. And I'll intentionally focus my thoughts and my mind, letting go of control. And it's like asking a question and just so eagerly anticipating the answers that will come. You just allow yourself to have an open mind and listening and believing that they do want to speak with you. They do want to speak with me. And so I open, up my mind up to all that. And then I can go about my business doing, all the tasks and chores or whatever I need to do during the day, just trying to remember as often as I can to send love, 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 receive love, love, love. I'll even set an alarm on my phone, for every hour to vibrate for me to come back to now, remember love. And I'll intently keep my eyes open, being aware of what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, even what I'm smelling and tasting and what I'm feeling, because messages come from all over the place and they definitely want to communicate with us. In fact, a friend of mine, she was wondering, should I sell my car or should I, just ride my bike to work instead? It's trying to simplify her life or not. And she was leaving her job and she looked over and here was the sign, an actual traffic sign, like a stop sign. And there was a bike leaning up against it. And there was no reason why that bike should have been there in our human mind, right? Because it was one of those bikes that, like in the big city, they would have where people can, they share bikes where it's like a little sign on it. It's like, here, use this bike to go ride. It's like encouraging people to use bikes, right? And here she had her sign leaning up against an actual sign. So they crack me up on how they so clearly want to communicate with us. And there are a variety of ways that we can receive messages from them. The external world. And this is where all the synchronicities tend to happen, like seeing that bike leaning up against, a sign. You can be even like seeing a bumper sticker on the car in front of you, or hearing a song on the radio, seeing a road sign advertising something, or overhearing a conversation, even getting some junk mail or a spam email that has a message on it. When we open our eyes and stop being spun around in the chaotic storm, we can see how much they really, really want to communicate with us every day. In addition to the Creator, our angels and guides letting us know that they're there, we can have things pop into our lives too that remind us of those of our loved ones who've already returned back to the other side. Whether it's a smell of their perfume or cigar, hearing a special song, their photo falling off the wall or falling over on the shelf, even a fire alarm going off without any reason. I have many examples of my own and from others as well of how those amazing souls have let us know they are still with us. Sometimes we will receive the messages of love from above through a flood of emotional energy. It can feel like a giant hug or electricity flowing through our body, or things like those situations where you get goosebumps all over your body. Our brain may not interpret the message immediately, but you will feel a message somehow. And then there are the mental messages that just drop into our brain. It can be a solution to a challenge where suddenly we just have this answer that we had no awareness of before, but suddenly the answer just appears in our brain. Or sometimes it can feel like you're remembering something that you didn't have happen in your life, but the knowledge or information you receive feels like you're remembering it. Also, if in a moment we aren't thinking of a loved one who's passed over to the other side, and suddenly a memory is triggered in our brain, it is that loved one touching that memory to remind us that they are with us. They always have been since the moment they withdrew from their human self. But in that moment, they wanted you to be aware that they are always around you. And all of this are ways that we can build that relationship with all those beautiful beings on the other side. We take time to speak to them, and we also take time to listen to them. That's like how we build relationships in this physical world. You know, that's what we do to build relationships, is speak and communicate with one another. But one big difference is that we can't fool them with our words. They see everything about us. They know our thoughts. They know our emotions. They know why we make the choices that we do. And that includes our loved ones who have gone to the other side. Now they know us so much more deeply and intimately than they ever could on this earthly plane. And all of those beings of love and light on the other side, they are in awe of who we are, seeing the entire experience that we are going through. They just love to interact with us, and they love to communicate with us. And never any judgment. They love us unconditionally. So that was one of the big things in the beginning. I'm like, what? They're always around me? They know my thoughts and everything? Oh, it's like, no, they love us unconditionally, and they are in awe of our adventure and our journey. So take time to reach out to them on the other side, because they just are so excited when we do, and they are just like waiting for us to give them a call. And that's what they tell me. They like, yeah, give us a call. We'll even answer it on the first ring. And I love that. In the next episode, we are going to talk about how we can interact with the higher selves of those who are still in the physical plane. And I want to let you know, in addition to these videos, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, do full moon, new moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when this video or any other type of videos come out on this channel, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, also click on the subscribe button, and that will give you access to the notification bell. And then you can go in there and there's an all option you can choose, and that will let you get notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. And all those things help spread the love, because when you like a video, share a video, or subscribe to someone's channel, the YouTube algorithm, it just gets so excited it wants to share those videos with other people as well. So if you want to do any of those things, of course, I am very grateful for that. Also, I actually give personal readings as well. So if you want like specific information for your life instead of the general readings that I put out, all that information is in the description box below, so you can check that out as well. As you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator and all those beings of unconditional love and light. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, but until then, you take care.